it doesn't make sense. Especially knowing from the inside out how the investigations go, it wouldn't make sense to dress up like a member of the nation unless you were simply trying to frame somebody or the Nation of Islam itself. You know, like anybody. I mean, if I was going to commit a crime like that, of course I would want to be in some kind of disguise to where I wouldn't be recognized. And of course they're going to say, okay, this dude dressed up in a suit and a bow tie, he must be a Muslim. And at the time, there are people out there who don't like the Nation of Islam. So they're going to put the Nation of Islam out there, like I say, to frame them, to make it look like, oh, the nation is out here being a gang. They out here killing people, you know, with all of this positive talk that they're doing. They out here killing people to put a bad light on the nation. So, you know, that would be a reason if I was going to do it. But to know from the inside out how the Nation of Islam operates, it really wouldn't make any sense other than all that I can think of is trying to frame the Nation of Islam into doing something like that.
Eugene Deal said that when he interacted with this guy, he didn't think he was actually from the nation. He thought that he just said there's a way of greeting.
Right.
Yeah, and then he didn't act like a Muslim.
He didn't act like a Muslim?
Yeah, because when he looked at me and stuff like that, you the Muslim say, yo,
hey,
what's up, my brother? How
he greeted you or something, right? He never did.
He never greeted.
So in your opinion, do you think he was Muslim?
No. My opinion?
Because it's manner.
Well, the way of greeting in not just the Nation of Islam, but the religion of Islam, period, is we use it in the Arabic language and we say assalamu alaikum, which means peace be upon you. We would, you know, give each other a hug and kind of go cheek to cheek on each side, you know, depending on, you know, what kind of situation we're in. Sometimes it's not, you know, protocol to do that, but, you know, that's the first thing you would say once you saw another, especially another registered member, that you would know, oh, Assalamu alaikum, brother. There are all kinds of gestures. You can give the heart gesture, you can Assalamu alaikum, or like I say, give the handshake and the cheek to cheek on each side. But our protocols are so detailed that we have questions that we ask, okay, what mosque do you go to? Who are you? And, you know, what's your name? And you know, we have protocols to be able to tell if you really are with us or if you're not. Because we can't stop anybody from wearing a suit and a bow tie. But, you know, there are things that we can see by the way that you do things that, okay, you're not with the nation. I've encountered people trying to infiltrate the Nation of Islam security to try to pose as Nation of Islam security, whether it's to give the Nation of Islam a bad name or, like I said earlier, to just try to get into somewhere where they don't belong. So those are the kind of things that we're trained on to be able to see and investigate and, you know, weed out the ones who don't belong there. We've heard about not only gang members, but police officers dressing up as Nation of Islam members and causing beefs between different gangs. We've heard about the gang members dressing up as Nation of Islam brothers and robbing people in their homes. And, you know, we would do, like I say, our own internal investigation, and we'd have our own internal protocols put in place to, you know, find out who it was and deal with them accordingly.
Okay, so this is the home video shot from across the street. You can hold that up. There they are, loading up to go.
Mm-hmm.
Get out. They running and say, wait, hold up, hold up. Street. Zoom in. I see it. That's how I feel. That's bigger than that is bigger than
y'all get down.
That is bigger than
Somebody got shot.
Y'all get down, Raptor. That is bigger than Raptor, when I busted your face.
How does it feel to see that again?
Wow, does kind of bring back some memories. Yeah, it's I do remember that. I do remember hearing the shots and everybody kind of got to scrambling. And yeah, like I say, about maybe 20, 30 minutes later, you know, they came and got me and we went to the hospital.